Hello students, welcome to my channel. My channel's motto is we should consistently do hard work for getting more success and more achievement throughout the life. Today I will discuss about ICSE Board Class 10th previous year 2019 board question paper of Social Science paper 1. In this video I will discuss about part 2 of the question paper section A questions. These questions are equally important for CBSE board as well as state boards because I went through the previous year question paper of ICSE board, CBSE board and state boards. In all boards previous year question paper, I saw these questions. These questions are repeatedly asked in previous year board question paper. So these questions are equally important for all 10th class board examinees. So you go through this video for knowing about the basic topics of the civics which are very important for all 10th class board examinees. So if you are new on my channel, then hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so that you can get the notification of my new videos. Have a look on the 2019 board question paper. In part 2 section A, from each question, sub-questions are given. Topic is given here. From the topic, 3 questions are given. So out of these 3 questions, you have to attempt any 2 questions. Here question is, the parliament is the body of people's representatives who have supreme power in a democracy. With reference to the union legislature, answer the following. Means all these questions are related to Indian parliament. The first question is, how are the members of the Rajya Sabha elected? The members of the Rajya Sabha elected indirectly by the people because Rajya Sabha represents Rajya or states. It is also known as Council of States. System of election is proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote. This type of system of election is also used for the election of the President of India. The members of the Rajya Sabha are elected by elected members of the states and union territories legislative assemblies. That's why the election is also known as the indirect election because the people of India first elect the member of the legislative assemblies and the representatives of the legislative assemblies elect the members of the Rajya Sabha. Now the question about the Rajya Sabha is why it is called a permanent house. The house cannot be dissolved and is not the subject of dissolution. Each member of the house is elected for a term 6 years, but they don't get appointment together and the retirement together. 1/3 of the members retire after every second year and are replaced by newly elected members. Thus, the house never empty and is called permanent house. About Rajya Sabha and Parliament, I have given the detailed explanation in part 1 of this topic. So, you should watch part 1 of this topic for knowing about the Parliament as well as the houses of the Parliament precisely. Now the question is, state any 2 financial and any 2 legislative powers of the Indian Parliament. 2 financial powers of Indian Parliament are the Parliament of India passes the annual union budget which consists of total income and expenditure of the financial year. Means the executive of India cannot spend any money without approval of the Parliament. The Parliament of India also can make the supplementary grants if the authorized money is insufficient. No tax can be imposed without approval of the Parliament. The Parliament decides about the salaries and allowances of the ministers of Parliament. Now, the two executive powers of Indian Parliament are: the Parliament of India makes laws on the subjects mentioned in the Union List. It has exclusive power to make laws on the residuary subjects. About the list of Indian Constitution, I have already explained in part 1. There are 3 lists of Indian Constitution for lawmaking. Union List, the subjects which are mentioned in Union List, the Parliament has exclusive right to make laws on the subjects in the Union List. Then State List, the subjects which are mentioned in a State List, the state have exclusive right to make laws mentioned the subject in a State List. But in some condition, the Parliament of India can make laws on the subject mentioned in a State List. These conditions are already mentioned in part 1. Then concurrent list. For the subjects mentioned in concurrent list, the Parliament of India as well as the state legislative assemblies can make laws. But in the condition of class, the Parliament of India's laws is prevailed over the laws made by the state legislative assemblies. Then it has exclusive right to make laws on the residuary subject. The subjects which are not mentioned in 3 lists, these subjects come in residuary subjects. So for residuary subjects, the Indian Parliament has exclusive right to make laws. Now question 4. What is the condition given here? The Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister is the most powerful institution in the Indian polity. In this context, answer the following. These are the questions. Now the question is, state briefly the position of the Prime Minister in the parliamentary system of government. State any 2 powers the Prime Minister has as a leader of the nation. The position of the Prime Minister in the parliamentary system of government are: the Prime Minister is the head of the government or real head of the country. For knowing about the meaning of the head of the government or real head of the country, you must know about the parliamentary system of government. In parliamentary system of government, there are 2 heads of the country. One is head of the state, means constitution gives him or her power. Then second is head of the government, means who uses the power in reality. In India, there is parliamentary system of government. So, the Prime Minister of India uses all the power in reality. So, he is the head of the government or real head of the country. Then, he is the chief advisor of the President of India and the head of the Union Council of Ministers. As Constitution gives the President as the status of the head of the state, so constitutionally the President of India uses all the power. But the President of India has to take the advice of the Prime Minister of India and the Union Council of Ministers. It is mandatory to the President of India to take advice of the Prime Minister of India and the Union Council of Ministers. So, the Prime Minister of India is the chief advisor of the President of India and the head of the Union Council of Ministers. Now, the 2 powers of Prime Minister as a leader of the nation. First is allocation of portfolio to minister. The Prime Minister has the authority to assign respective portfolios to the ministers. As President of India appoints the ministers for different departments, but the Prime Minister decides about the portfolios of the ministers. Head of many organizations. He is the head of the Niti Aayog, Nuclear Command Authority, Appointment Committee of the Cabinet, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Space and Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pensions. Distinguish between Council of Ministers and Cabinet. Council of Ministers consists of three categories of ministers: Cabinet Ministers, Minister of State, and Deputy Ministers. Cabinet, it is the part of the Council of Ministers and consists of senior members who hold important portfolios in the government. Council of Ministers is a constitutional body, but the Cabinet is not the original constitutional body. It got the constitutional status after 44th Amendment of the Constitution. The Council of Ministers comprises usually 60 to 70 ministers. In present government, 56 Council of Ministers are there. The size of cabinet is about 15 to 25 ministers. In present government, 22 cabinet ministers are there. Question is, write any four functions of the cabinet. The cabinet coordinates the working of several departments in order to implement the policies of the government. Most of the bills are introduced by the cabinet members of the parliament, which is called as official bills. These bills are given priority over non-member bills or private bills. The cabinet formulates and decides domestic and international policies of the government. It takes decisions on important matters like defense, finance, foreign affairs, etc. Individual ministers have to consult the cabinet on all important matters. The cabinet regulates the expenditure of the government, can present demands for required grants, and for raising the necessary income through various legal means. Now question 5. The condition is India has a single integrated judicial system that is independent and supreme. With reference to the judiciary, answer the following. These are the questions. Now the question is, who appoints the judges of the high courts? The president appoints the judges of the high courts. State any two qualifications required for a person to be appointed as the high court judge. For becoming a high court judge, the person must be a citizen of India. He has worked as a judge in any court in India for a period not less than 10 years or an advocate of the High Court for 10 years. Now explain briefly the term Court of Record with reference to the High Court. The term Court of Record means the decisions given by the High Court are preserved as records for the future reference of the lower courts. These records can be produced as precedents. The laws laid down by the High Court in the concerned state is binding on all subordinate courts. Means the subordinate courts cannot go beyond the laws laid down by the High Court. The High Court can also punish a person for contempt of court. Now the question is, list any four writs that the High Court can issue for the enforcement of fundamental rights. Four writs that the High Court can issue for the enforcement of fundamental rights are habeas corpus, literally means to have a body of. The writ is issued to release a person who has been unlawfully detained or imprisoned. Then mandamus means we command. It is issued by the court to direct a public authority to perform the legal duties which it has not or refused to perform. If any public department or government department break the laws, and violate the fundamental rights of any citizen. In this condition, this writ is issued. Quo warranto means by what warrant. Through this writ, the court calls upon a person holding a public office to show under what authority he holds that office. Then prohibition. A writ of prohibition is issued by a court to prohibit the lower courts, tribunals, and other quasi-judicial authorities from doing something beyond their authorities. Only High Court and Supreme Court can issue these type of writs. Lower courts, subordinate courts, or district courts cannot issue these type of writs for the violation of the fundamental rights. That's why whenever our fundamental right is violated, we have to go to the High Court or Supreme Court. If you like my video, then click the like button, share my video among maximum number of the people, and subscribe to my channel for motivating me for making more such videos.